Disclaimer, this video exists for the purposes of entertainment, education, and theory rebuttal. Furthermore, considering the subject of this video is game theory, I want to make it clear that this video is not an attack on MatPat as a person outside of his chosen YouTube profession. I only wish to show the flaws in his theories and practices while creating theories. Unless there is substantial evidence, it is not assumed MatPat still stands behind the video in question, and when addressing older videos, I do so in a vacuum, speaking only to MatPat's assumed mindset at the time of the video's creation. If you harass or witch hunt anyone involved with this video, I will personally disown you. Thank you. This is the third script I'm recording in a row. My voice is gonna be dead. Many people have given their takes on Mario is mental in the past. This theory has spawned more than its fair share of rebuttals. Obviously, this theory needs no introduction. If there's any theory MatPat is most well known for besides this one, it's Mario is mental. People have covered this theory left and right, top to bottom, but allow this fresh face in 2019 to give you a fresh look at this rotten theory. So, how am I going to say anything that hasn't already been said about this theory? Well, I have this cool time machine over here. That's right, I'm bringing in the time machine to bring this theory into 2019, so I don't want anyone to tell me, oh, this evidence didn't apply in 2013. That's not the point. The point is to disprove everything surrounding this theory here and now for anyone that still thinks this theory might be legit. Also, just like I said in the last theory, I will still be leaning toward evidence that existed back in 2013. I'm just supplementing myself with present-day information. Today, I'm laying the monster to rest. After all, people are gonna hound me for ages if I don't do it eventually, so why not get it out of the way early? Roll the video!
The warning signs were present from the very beginning. Donkey Kong for the arcade featured Mario's first appearance, but even in those early days, something was off.
Everyone that's watched my last video on the Mario timeline is screaming right about now because of this little moment right here.
Except for the fact that Mario the Carpenter Jumpman and Mario the Plumber Super Mario aren't actually the same person, but rather father and son.
But okay, let's take Mario as mental on its own merit. Let's see what MatPat has for us here in this little Donkey Kong segment.
Sure. Did you know that Mario was Donkey Kong's master? That he abused the ape, which is why DK broke free and stole away with Mario's GF to get even.
Yeah, that's a factoid you don't hear Nintendo trumpeting about their red-clad cash cow. Now, you would be 100% correct in asking me, well, where does it say that Mario is DK's master? The arcade game didn't come with a story, and ports to Atari and ColecoVision give a vague Mario must save the girl plot. Other sources, like Crack.com or Wikipedia, cite the book Geektionary, which I checked out. But here at GT, we try not to rest until we have primary sources. So I dug a little deeper and found this.
I give you Donkey Kong Circus from the Game & Watch Gallery, the prequel to the original Donkey Kong, where we see Jumpman's side business, where he just so happens to be running a circus show, and the star attraction, Donkey Kong.
Nowhere does it ever say that Mario is Donkey Kong's master. Most we know about Mario and Donkey Kong Circus is that Mario was watching DK's performance. It's entirely possible that DK's master is entirely different, someone that actually owns the circus DK performs at. Also, are we actually about to take the Game & Watch titles as canon? I guess that means Donkey Kong Hockey is canon too. Donkey Kong gets salty about losing to Mario in hockey, so he kidnaps Pauline as revenge. It's about as plausible a theory given the circumstances.
In the wake of Donkey Kong, upset at being forced to climb girders for his girl, Mario punishes his freshly captured ape in their next game together, Donkey Kong Jr., where he tears Donkey Kong away from his son, cages him up, and then uses a whip to defend his prize.
I'll give MatPat this. Donkey Kong Jr. is probably the closest we'll ever get to a psychopathic Mario. Except that it can be explained. Remember that we're just coming off an incident where Donkey Kong has kidnapped Mario's girlfriend. It makes perfect sense that Mario would want to see Donkey Kong put away where he can't hurt Pauline anymore. Mario isn't acting out of an evil desire to see Donkey Kong miserable. He's acting out of fear of an animal he knows nothing about. Then Donkey Kong Jr. comes along trying to free Donkey Kong. What's Mario gonna do? If Donkey Kong gets free again, there's a chance that he could harm someone. With that in mind, Mario does everything in his power to keep this from happening. word hypothetical's fun.
In the final screen, Mario even whips birds to do his bidding.
I don't see Mario whipping birds. I see Mario cracking a whip and a bird appearing out of thin air. If anything, I think we should be questioning whether or not Mario is a wizard.
But what's worse than his treatment of the adult Kong is his abuse of the younger ape. Think about what we're seeing here. Mario is forcing a baby monkey to cheat death in order to rescue his father. Just look at the utter distress and fear on that poor ape's young face. In the third screen, he uses a lever to actively try to electrocute DK Jr.
Let's bring back in that hypothetical, shall we? Mario doesn't know anything about Donkey Kong Jr. All he knows is that this little ape is trying to free Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is a threat that could cause people harm. It's logical that Mario would try to stop DK Jr. As for the actions he takes to this end, he's scared and he's not thinking or acting reasonably. I get that I'm playing devil's advocate here, but there's always more than one side to every story, especially where a beloved video game mascot temporarily playing the antagonist is involved. If MatPat can play this game, then so can I.
Mario, it's a cow. Oh, no, that's a Bambi.
Mario is an equal opportunity animal abuser. He also hates insects.
Oh, please. If hating insects makes someone an animal abuser, then lock me and half this country's population up right now.
Take, for instance, Wigglers, innocent, happy caterpillars that, across the Mario franchise, show absolutely zero intentions of ever hurting Mario. They have daisies on their heads, for crying out loud. And what does our hero do? He ruins their home, not once, but twice, in both Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine. Then, after trashing their homes, he proceeds to jump on them, crushing them to death. An innocent creature who did nothing wrong but get upset when his home was violated. From this perspective, Mario is no better than a child burning ants with a magnifying glass, torturing small insects just for fun.
Wigglers are hardly small insects. Heck, they're not even insects. Let's talk about Wigglers, though. Wigglers first appeared in Super Mario World, where touching one would hurt Mario. This also applies to just about every other iteration of Wigglers. While it's true that Wigglers typically tend to mind their own business and only get feisty when provoked, provoking them is incredibly simple if the RPGs are any indication, and bouncing on them in games like Super Mario World, the new Super Mario Bros. Series, and future game Super Mario Maker doesn't even seem to hurt them. Now for the examples given. In the case of Super Mario 64, it's unlikely that Mario knew he'd be flooding Wiggler's home with his actions, just as a first-time player wouldn't. Said Wiggler then tries to charge at Mario out of anger. I'd hardly call that harmless. In Super Mario Sunshine, Mario's only goal was to shine light at the sleeping Wiggler to get it to wake up and get off the incubator for the sandbird egg, which was extremely important to the residents of the area as well as being very rare. It falling off was definitely not lethal, and it was definitely still alive afterward as it rampaged around the beach. Defeating it was necessary at that point, as leaving it be would probably result in property damage or someone getting hurt. Also, I can't believe MatPat just implied that the sandbird egg's incubator was at Wiggler's home. That's so stupid.
And Wigglers are only one of multiple examples. That's not even mentioning creatures like Cheep Cheeps, fish who are just swimming around peacefully, not even attacking Mario, who get targeted, burned alive by Mario's fiery vengeance.
Hello? Cheep Cheeps hurt Mario when he touches them, and in some titles, Cheep Cheeps actively attack Mario. Even if they're just swimming around, they're incredibly easy to avoid, and Mario doesn't have to attack them, coming down to the choice of the player. They are harmful, though. Quit pretending they're innocent beings that can do no wrong.
That's a good one, bro.
Well, fast forward to adult Mario, hopping once more atop his trusted and loyal friend to save the day, and wait, he just punched him. Look again. Mario punches the Yoshis to get them to extend their tongue. You can even see the Yoshi flinch before it happens. He is physically beating this animal to get it to do what he wants it to do.
It's time. This is the point I decided to make this entire video for. This one right here. Why? Well, let's fast forward a couple years to the opening segment of another of MatPat's videos.
Did you see the news? Nintendo confirmed that Mario is punching Yoshi in the head. According to character designer for Super Mario World, Shigefumi Hino, quote, "Lots of people think that while Mario is pointing his finger forward, he's saying go, and Yoshi's tongue comes out. However, the setup that I drew was that when Mario punches Yoshi in the head, the character's tongue shoots out in surprise. What's more, there's an added bop sound." End quote. Man, between this and Scott confirming last week's FNAF theory, these are good days to be a theorist.
So I'm going to put this one to rest by reading the rest of this interview that MatPat failed to mention. Lots of people think that while Mario is pointing his finger forward, he's saying go and Yoshi's tongue comes out. However, the setup that I drew was that when Mario punches Yoshi in the head, the character's tongue shoots out in surprise. What's more, there's an added bop sound. However, it seems like people would say poor Yoshi, so that's why it became that Mario is saying go. Hey, everyone taking this article to mean that Mario is actually punching Yoshi. Want to explain that last sentence to me? Because it definitely seems like plans changed. Also, when the interview says there's an added bop sound, it should say that there was an added bop sound, because tell me if you can hear a bop in this footage. In short, Mario hitting Yoshi may have been the original plan, but it's clear that plan was shoved off the table as soon as the implications came to light. You can all stop using this interview to prove Mario is hitting Yoshi now. Everyone spread the word.
And let's not forget that Mario will drop a Yoshi into a pit without hesitation, just to get a couple extra inches out of his jump. A pit that, time and time again, has clearly been shown to result in death.
You want to talk about this point? Fine. Most people will tell you that it's up to the player whether or not they want to dump Yoshi in a pit, but I'm going to take it one step further. Hey MatPat, Super Mario Galaxy 2 much? In Super Mario Galaxy 2, anytime Yoshi would be put into a situation where he would die, such as falling into a bottomless pit or lava, he turns back into an egg and disappears. This is a thing Yoshis can do. Now tell me again that Mario kills Yoshis.
Once again, we don't just see animal abuse, we see family abuse. Lest we forget, this is Yoshi, the same creature who had to deal with this and this to keep baby Mario safe. These tender-hearted dinosaurs are practically family, and what do they get? A punch and a pit. Disposable like tissues. If only they had fed that obnoxious baby to a piranha plant, the Mushroom Kingdom would be a happier and safer place.
Except for, you know, the giant turtle monster that wreaks havoc on the Mushroom Kingdom every other Tuesday.
Speaking of abusing family, though, this next one, in my opinion, is Mario's worst sin, his treatment of Luigi. Now,
Hold on there, MatPat. I want to address this little CinemaSins parody of yours right fast. How does Luigi getting scared by a ghost make Mario a horrible brother? Mario had absolutely nothing to do with that. If you're going to make the joke, at least pick something that could be in the realm of being misconstrued as abuse.
Now, stop for a minute and look at this guy. He's an adorable coward, an awkward wannabe hero who thinks the world of his brother. Look at the way he reacts at the end of Luigi's mansion when he sees his brother is safe. Even though it's told mostly through gestures and goofy sounds, his joy is moving. Without doubt, Luigi is one of the sweetest, most genuine characters in gaming.
Except when half the things you've accused Mario of here can also apply to Luigi. Luigi's playable in Super Mario World, where he can abuse Yoshis and Wigglers. Luigi's playable in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, where he can burn up Cheep Cheeps just like in your video clip. Luigi's playable in Super Mario 64 DS, where once again he can abuse that poor Wiggler and flood his house. Some of the examples you'll bring up later can also apply to Luigi too. This is a blatant double standard that's absolutely disgusting, and I won't stand for it. If it's not okay for Mario, it's not okay for Luigi either. You can't excuse one without excusing the other.
In Paper Mario, you can read his secret diary, which goes on and on for pages about how much he admires Mario, how much he wishes he could go on these adventures, how he's asked over and over to be included on the next big quest. And what we read is that Mario has crushed those dreams, crushed them like the thousands of Goombas he's crushed under his fat Italian weight, denying his brother any chance of fulfilling his dreams, of living a happy life.
Mario Bros. Luigi is a playable character. Super Mario Bros. Luigi is a playable character. Super Mario Bros. 2. Luigi is a playable character. Yes, this applies to both Lost Levels and Doki Doki Panic. Super Mario Bros. 3. Luigi is a playable character. Super Mario World. Luigi is a playable character. New Super Mario Bros. Luigi is a playable character. New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Luigi is a playable character. Super Mario 64 DS. Luigi is a playable character. This is important because according to MatPat, Vanilla Mario 64 can be shoved aside for the DS remake without question if his timeline is any indication. Also, if it can't, Super Mario 64. Mario didn't know he'd be in for an adventure until he got to Peach's castle and was told Peach was kidnapped. He was under the premonition that he was coming for cake. At that point, there was no time to go back for Luigi. Super Mario Sunshine. Mario was in the middle of a vacation Peach invited him on when he was flung into an adventure. Luigi was out of the question at that point. Super Mario Galaxy. Bowser attacked in the middle of Mario going to Peach's castle for a surprise she said she had for him. He had to act quickly and going back for Luigi wasn't an option. Also, Luigi does appear later in the game and does do things on his own, often requiring Mario's help, which Mario obliges to. Super Mario Galaxy 2. Luigi is a playable character during Mario's campaign. Paper Mario. Peach's castle was attacked in the middle of a party Peach was having at the castle. Mario was flung out of the castle as it was hovering in the air, and that's what started his adventure. In fact, Luigi was at the same party, but he chose to do nothing and instead retreated back home and waited for Mario to show up before expressing his desire for an adventure. You seeing a trend here? In fact, I'm ashamed of Luigi. Come on, man, you've actually been on a huge majority of Mario's adventures. What are you complaining about? Mario isn't crushing any dreams. Again, this is a gross over-exaggeration.
But it gets worse than sheer neglect. Look at the ending of New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Luigi flies in, offers Mario and Peach room in his balloon, and then they just fly off without him. They don't acknowledge his existence, they don't thank him, they don't invite him to fly with them, they just flat out ignore him. He is less than the Koopa remnant on the bottom of Mario's shoes.
Please tell me you see what I see in this scene. I see Luigi accidentally closing the door and the balloon floating away. I see an accident.
Luigi doesn't get any thanks at the end of Mario is Missing either. After Luigi's completed this quest, Mario just strolls out and stands there. Stands there. No thank you, no nothing. Just staring at his brother like, I hope you liked the lamest adventure in our franchise, bro. 'Cause that's the most you're ever going to get.
I hate this stupid theory.
But what's disgusting, and I mean disgusting, is Mario's behavior at the end of Mario Power Tennis.
In Mario Power Tennis, if Luigi wins, this is what happens. He celebrates. For once, this perpetual player 2, this second fiddle gets his chance in the spotlight. People are cheering for him. A stadium full of people are celebrating Luigi. He's holding a trophy, and what does Mario do? The brother who Luigi would love the approval of more than anything else, what does he do?
Walks up to him, applauding, laughing, slaps him on the back, and then grinds his shoe into his brother's foot, stands there, and grinds it in. Still smiling, still laughing.
He's so unfeeling, so bereft of love or affection for anything or anyone, even his own brother. He's unwilling to let Luigi have even this smallest of victory in a game that no one cares about. And look at Luigi. His moment of glory is ruined. A brother he thought would be proud of him in this moment of victory instead trashes upon it. It flies completely against everything Luigi has ever associated with his brother, and the look on his face proves it. He's confused. He's bewildered, and we should be too.
This point is the dumbest point in the history of ever. I hate this point with a burning passion. This one scene from Mario Power Tennis is forever ruined for everyone by being associated with this stupid theory and MatPat's stupid obsession with shoving it in everyone's faces. Brothers will be brothers. Playful teasing will be playful teasing. This is not Mario being malicious toward Luigi. Take the heated emotions away from the scene for a moment and really look at what you're getting angry over here. At the very most, Mario is a tad jealous of Luigi's win because he doesn't take losing too well. Plenty of people are like this, especially where a sibling is concerned. No one's a saint and everyone has that one flaw. The thing is, Mario really does care about Luigi. The Mario and Luigi series, the ending to Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, or how about another scene from Mario Power Tennis itself? Koopa Troopa's victory scene shows Mario running straight to Luigi after he gets hurt, ignoring everything else. That's the reflexes of a good sibling. There's also the fact that, let's face it, Nintendo likes to make Luigi the butt of the joke a lot of the time. Plenty of these other victory scenes also show Luigi in some pretty bad yet comedic situations. This is hardly the only time this happens either, as any fan of the Mario and Luigi series will tell you. Nintendo rags on Luigi a lot, and Luigi's victory scene is just another example of this. Even if you do still want to say that Mario is being a jerk here, then fine. Now tell me how this alone makes Mario a psychopath, because that's what we're arguing here. Answer, it doesn't. There. No one ever needs to bring this scene up again. Period. That's part 1. On to part 2. I am going to die.
Sure, we all know that Princess Peach is Mario's main squeeze now, but it's easy to overlook his flings with other women. Take for instance, Pauline. And yes, while Pauline and Mario were in love long before Mario's adventures in the Mushroom Kingdom began, the feelings that drive a man to leap over anthropomorphic fireballs to rescue his ladylove die hard. Case in point, the Mario vs. Donkey Kong series, where, after years of absence, Pauline makes her grand return as Mario's quote-unquote special guest. For those of you unfamiliar with this more obscure series, Mario is debuting a new theme park based around his hit toy line, and his VIP guest at the ribbon cutting is Pauline. No signs of Peach anywhere. Now, as a committed man myself, I speak with authority when I say you do not invite another woman as your date to any sort of function ever, especially if she is a former girlfriend.
Friends exist. Males can be friends with females, even if they're exes. Also, this is a Donkey Kong themed series. Of course Pauline's going to be there. Why wouldn't she? This is Nintendo harkening back to the old days. Besides, it would just be weird to see Peach getting kidnapped by Donkey Kong.
Later, in Mini-Land Mayhem, she even gets her own toy modeled after her. There's no Peach toy.
My pet doesn't even watch his own videos, I'm convinced of it.
And speaking of old habits dying hard, when DK kidnaps her and Mario comes to the rescue, she refers to him as her hero. If there were any more red flags flying in this situation, I'd say that this was a communist conspiracy. Oh wait.
A hero is someone that saves someone else from danger. Calling someone a hero does not denote romantic interest in that person. Use your head before you speak.
And before you leave waves of comments about this being either before or after a Peach Mario celebrity breakup, timelines agree.
I'm gonna stop you right there, buddy. If my audience doesn't already see what's wrong with this statement, then they best look a little bit harder. For all of you that do, say it with me. You can't use non-canon information to prove something in canon. This is not information that Nintendo has given us, therefore it cannot be used to prove your theory. Want to know why?
Timelines agree that the MVDK series takes place around the same time as New Super Mario and Super Mario RPG, a point in time when Mario is very clearly committed to the Princess in Pink.
This is why. Let's start with the obvious. MatPat gives absolutely zero explanation as to why this is. You can't just expect people to know what timelines you're talking about. Heck, I don't know what he's talking about, and I'm not about to spend 1,000,000,000 hours of my life just to find it. The problem is that there's absolutely nothing to denote MVDK coming between NSMB and SMRPG canonically, causing the entire argument to fall apart at a single glance. There's also the fact that the timeline MatPat would make later completely flies in the face of this, but we already know that this theory and that timeline are like oil and water anyway, so...
And even if you don't believe in Mario timelines, Nintendo has gone on record saying that this DK is an ancestor to this one. So clearly some time has passed with these two maintaining a very close relationship.
Relationship. The way in which two or more concepts, objects, or people are connected, or the state of being connected. The way in which two or more people or organizations regard and behave toward each other. A relationship does not have to be inherently romantic. A relationship can refer to friendships, acquaintanceships, or even business partnerships. Mario and Pauline can simply be friends, or they can be purely business partners, and nothing about the Mario vs. Donkey Kong series would change. My gosh, I think I've gotten to that stage where my anger's fizzled into a calm state of disappointment. Am I okay?
But let's not forget Mario's other girl, Daisy.
Well, that answers my question. I'm definitely not okay.
While the manual and promotional material may bill this as Mario saving just another princess out of the kindness of his heart, there's no denying what you see in the final scene of the game. "Oh, Daisy, Daisy," he cries out when seeing her. Now, I'm sorry, but that's not how a friend greets another friend. Names only get repeated in romantic settings.
Mario has just gone on an adventure where he thought he saved Daisy 3 times before this, only to have Daisy turn into a monster and meander away. Now he's finally found Daisy, for real. He's exhausted and he's happy to have finally found Daisy. This is obviously no ordinary greeting because it's not an ordinary scenario. Daisy was in danger and now she's finally safe. Mario's expressing his happiness, not romantic feelings.
Need more proof? Boom! That heart tells you everything you need to know about what's going on here.
That's right! MatPat is using the presence of one heart to say that Mario's affections have moved on, completely disregarding the fact that this heart might just signify a simple thank you kiss on the cheek, like Peach gives Mario all the time. Can I die now?
And once again, timelines list this game as occurring right after this. So very clearly, this is still very much a thing.
Go eat an entire rock.
And wait, this also means that, once again, we see Luigi getting the shaft. Mario dates a woman, tosses her aside, still expects her to play golf with them, and Luigi is left with the sloppy seconds. The hand-me-downs. The girl apparently not good enough to stay in Mario's little harem.
I want you all to know that I can't take this for much more. Luigi and Daisy are very clearly in love, and Maria was clearly never actually in love with Daisy, and Pauline is just hanging. I stop this before I have an aneurysm. All that aside, way to ride high on that confirmation bias. Is Luigi just that much of a martyr that we need to misconstrue everything just to put him on this pedestal? How about this scenario that holds just as much plausibility? Mario and Daisy get together after the events of Super Mario Land, but Mario realizes Daisy isn't right for him and they break up. After that, Daisy and Luigi meet and they find they have feelings for each other. It's not sloppy seconds. All your metaphor serves to do is objectify Daisy and completely chucks emotions out of the equation. Also, if you wanted to turn around and still say Mario would be cheating on Peach, your little timeline point is still stupid as frick, and it could be possible that this is very early in Mario's career of heroism, and he and Peach haven't started a serious relationship yet. Or it could be like in your other theories, where they supposedly have no relationship to begin with, but you all know how much I don't believe that. I only bring it up because MatPat, depending on the day, does. I could go on and on about his inconsistencies on these sorts of things and how it causes problems going from theory to theory, but that's another topic for another day, and this interjection's going on far too long as it is. Just know that this whole thing is stupid.
That was fun.
This hero of the Mushroom Kingdom has killed hundreds, thousands of toads in his quest to save them from the evil clutches of Bowser. Look at the story from the original Super Mario Bros. Quote, it's here somewhere. The kingdom was invaded by the Koopa, black magic, there we go. The quiet, peace-loving mushroom people, aka toads, were turned into mere stones, bricks, and even field horsehair plants, whatever that is, blah-de-blah-de-blah. The only one who can undo the magic is the Princess Toadstool. There you have it. Each and every brick you shatter is someone you were supposed to be saving.
I could bring up that this is hardly the only game these brick blocks appear in, and these brick blocks could very well not be toads. I could also bring up that the toads were turned into individual bricks, and it could be that when Mario breaks a brick block, that the individual bricks aren't damaged during the process. I could also bring up that Mario might not have known that these brick blocks were toads. I could also bring up that even when the bricks break, the toads are still fine and can be brought back A-okay. I could also bring up that there are brick blocks in the game that give Mario coins and don't break, so these could possibly be the toads the manual is talking about. I could go on and on into infinity with hypotheticals, but in the end, it's impossible to know for sure what the real answer is. This killing toads point, though, would certainly never be a Nintendo-approved point, and while I hate to bring that up as my only solid evidence, I've made it clear that there are other hypotheticals that can explain this point just as easily.
And the game takes it one step further, rewarding you for killing them, giving you points for each and every block you smash. Earning points for killing people? That's what happens when you play the anti-hero. Games like GTA, Overlord, Prototype, not Mario Brothers.
Points are part of the game, not part of the universe. Stick to the in-universe lore or we're going to have problems.
And if the original games were bad, look at his behavior with a Mega Mushroom.
Nope, not hearing it. Look at the manual one more time. Peach is able to cure the toads of the black magic Bowser inflicted them with, and it's heavily implied that this is the outcome of saving her. After Super Mario Bros., the toads were cured, thus there are no more toad blocks. End of story.
And while we're talking about his murderous tendencies, let's talk for a minute about Mario's preferred method of delivering death: crushing. While the game makes it seem all for fun, it's pretty disturbing when you think about it. In fact, to prove the point, let's get morbid for a second here while I tell you a story.
No. I am not letting you describe in gruesome, gory detail what crushing a living being entails. Not on my family-friendly channel. Let me go on record saying this. Mario has never crushed a Goomba to death. You might be saying I'm crazy, but I assure you I'm not joking about this. In fact, I even have canon to back me up. Paper Mario Color Splash. I am a bit tired of being stumped. Mario Party DS. This brown foe has taken his lumps over the years from Mario's boot, but he seems to harbor secret dreams of turning the tables one day. Mario Party 9. Ground Soldier, a constellation inspired by the stalwart mushroom monsters who never give up, no matter how many times they're squashed. Goombas don't die when Mario steps on them! Look at that! That's pretty much the end of things. MatPat goes on to make his final conclusion after this, diagnosing Mario with antisocial personality disorder because of the shoddy evidence he's presented, then ends this two-part monstrosity that ended up tearing the Mario fandom in pieces. These videos are slander. They blow tiny things extremely out of proportion. They contort and cherry-pick evidence for the sole purpose of a shocking outcome. This is complete and utter character assassination based on little to no actual evidence, and what evidence there is faulty at best. This theory is the most despicable thing to come from this channel, and I hate what it's done to the gaming icon that didn't deserve it at all. People use this theory alone to justify hating Mario as a character, and it makes me want to slam their heads into a table. For every fanfiction I read where Mario's the villain, and every comic I read where Luigi's life is miserable because of Mario, my blood boils because I know that it was most likely influenced, directly or not, by this. MatPat single-handedly ruined so many people's mindsets on Mario with this theory. It's utterly disgusting. What's more, Post-Miku is here with something that honestly sent a chill down my spine. While searching out a clip for another video, I found out about the existence of a video titled "I Almost Worked for Game Theory, Update I Do," which I'll link in the description. The video is mostly just an innocuous story about a guy MatPat messaged to write a script for one of his videos, and the guy seems to hold a fair bit of respect for MatPat. But smack in the middle of the video lies the most incriminating MatPat quote I've ever hecking read, and I have no idea how anyone ever let this slide.
You control the story. Don't feel like you have to talk about everything. Focus on the strongest evidence and brush aside some of the weaker moments or parts that may contradict what you're trying to prove. For a good example, look at the Mario is Mental series of videos. I really focus in on that shoe grinding moment and avoid all mention of the good things Mario has done throughout the series. In that way, I'm able to direct viewer focus to what is going to be the most compelling for the overall story I'm trying to tell.
This one quote alone changed my entire perspective of MatPat and flipped it upside down on its head. MatPat has been purposely dishonest this entire time, and he knows it. In fact, it's common practice for him, and he is not the least bit ashamed of it. He's perfectly happy to cherry pick and twist things by the arm just to create the narrative he wants to create. This practice is absolutely disgusting, considering the fact that he's gone on record saying he wants to create more theorists in his image, and he has. I don't know if this is a practice MatPat still stands behind. I hope to high heck he doesn't. If he does, though, he has officially lost any and all respect I may have had for him as a theory creator. He deals in intellectual dishonesty and purposeful deception. It's intentional falsification of information, and it's a wonder anyone in their right mind lets this fly. He's not a theorist, he's a con artist. You know what would happen if someone in an actual scientific field was discovered pulling an operation like this? He would be fired from his job, and it would hang over his head for the rest of eternity. I really don't want to project this onto MatPat as a person. I want to think the best of people, and MatPat is no exception. If these are the practices he finds acceptable, though, he really needs to rethink some things. I want to see MatPat change. If he was honest about his theories, he could make something really amazing. I've seen what a good game theory looks like. I've seen a Super Mario Maker video, his video on which Mario character would win the Olympics, and heck, I even have a soft spot for the Bowser's Broken Home video and the video where MatPat speculates on why the people of New Donk City are so freaking huge. This is even just taking his Mario videos into consideration. It's videos like this, though, that mar the name of game theory. MatPat wonders why everyone hates this video. Well, MatPat, is my video enough of an answer for you? From being purposely dishonest to misconstruing tiny things for the sake of a twisted narrative, this video is every dishonest theory creating practice in the book times 100. Then again, you'll never watch this video, will you? I'm just a hater ripping on your, and I quote, good theory, right? This whole thing makes me sick. Oh gosh, I'm definitely not okay. Well, that's it. 3 theories, 3 debunks, it's all over. Hydra's dead. What do I do now?